This FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
Nanka, Okan. Na yedi nkomo ya masa kwa muka say Yenia Joyce Bawa Muktari. Yes, I'm afraid.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Akoka say Attorney General small boy.
Well, one can say small boy, say baby.
What's it?
Baby.
Baby.
Where West just small boy.
Momo na so kan sadia.
Oh, say when say me ba metra han kansama enyo. Okay. Ne say ni tweet or Troy. Okay, so if I may read it to you now. Ignore the rants of quote-unquote baby Godfred Dami, who was probably not old enough to vote in the 28th April 1992 referendum to accept the draft constitution, and yet has the impudence to insult John Mahama and describes all lawyers affiliated with the NDC as abettors.
As what?
Abettors, like abet,
Aide and Aide.
Yeah. Let it be known that in the history of Ghana Bar, no Attorney General has used the Bar Conference as a platform to attack a former president, fellow lawyers, or a political party and its leader. Oh, so say me Said you yes,
na baby no there and worshiper Attorney General pa na baby see Attorney General money honey there opening and worship
but or the baby no to inverted commerce or the to inverted commerce baby no
by inverted commerce no cry more inverted commerce no more Attorney General kwaka sam na ne nyadria one ne nyadri baby ni there say and worship papa na say no kura so say Attorney General no so call no or no so ka NDC lawyers asem and ko frɛ or di brofo no o ka no so di ko bata o ho eno so no masala braka eno so say no so entwa yi on ya meche no eno so entwa yi kura enti afanu ni na obi ansi abotre masa ememmu ho asem ne yeka we Canada na we trouble we na we trouble we ni sunsanso no wanya enyefe nti afenunu ina anto yebo ni ntu wonfo asem we opani age kuma ka asem bi wo ho a sani abeka no se asem kro no o nanso sani abeka no ene kire oni am kire no asem kro no diction, your choice of words and so on. It will nipa ebu ehuru emo anhwe ni ya the nsem bi beba sa asem krona so to me can be so bia kuma toni yem boko so the same meaning and so on. Into yem penny for we dey esrem mu kodina pensie so a na mo kasa ya mu nkari mu kasa kakra
Menkan way back, Fire says, Chairman, good morning. I believe the tone of voice and choice of words in saying things in public go a long way to affect. Yes, Kwesi.
Even in our history, the history of the law and so on, there have been several cases. Judge in Ankasao, they recruit themselves sometimes. Because of all kinds of consideration, sometimes including the perception of bias. Judge Nankasa no ayedi asem na kotuna ni. Otumi ko ye kodu pepenso bi o say asem we dey mean. Esanso simesi e bia na mini na ko school ba ko no e madam fu pa na adenti enam senti wanya there be a perception of bias. Inti asem no kura no mean transform from command judge fufuro. Esi enti bias in there. Bibi ni ho bias is not discernible. See any pankwanti. Sometimes bias is instigated through ethnicity. Sometimes religious affiliation. And you ma bebre. your basis of bias on them. It's bias is a normal thing. And yeah, a broso chiriswa ehua. Uka bias in terms of the interpretation of the law near there. Someone a broso. That's all.
Open with them, 1 minute. Hey.
I like the way Prof said, what do you call so?
I agree that it gives us a certain impression. Or no, about Outabeka said he was misunderstood. But the German, I'm sure he will come and explain himself better. But one, Kwesi Pratt, I'll say a opinion about Attorney General, baby.
George Baramokhtari.
So, say Attorney General, I'm Kwesi can say only Yamameno, your sister no enyadre. So Attorney General can say, Ebia baby or can upon one in yadre, and now say asemo can in yadre. Now can say or your baby. You see, that is where the attack comes from. Just say, oh, say no can mofrasem. So that is where the attack comes from. Say judge and now say judges etia akonyemu as sub judges of the court. Yenim so they are human beings. They may be supporters of football clubs. They may be supporters of political parties. We know all of that. Even the electoral commissioner. So Otwaba. But are you going to say lose elections? Are you able to accuse the electoral commissioner of bias? Angela Soniso. Say figures now, electoral commissioner, they are banning na Jindia. Show your figures. But don't say or declare election on my opponent because of support two opponents. What you are accusing him of is that he's not using the figures but using his bias to declare the results. That is where you are bastardizing the institution. That's where it comes from. Simple. Say you can criticize. But when you go beyond the objective criticism, now use words like bias, then what you are saying to the court and they say they are not looking at the law. They are looking at other considerations. And when you do that as a former head of state, that is all I say, the whole judiciary, and since they won't because they don't look at the law. Now this from a former president. How? And yet, that's all that John Mahama or anybody has the right to criticize, to disagree with the judgment. Of course, judgment and Kwama, you disagree with it. Because all point of view now they call it Roman Jantu. And so they have a different point of view. Until you disagree with their view, even though you accept it. I don't know, say President Mahama will accept a judgment, but obviously he would disagree. There's no problem. But to go on to accuse them of bias and give them nicknames, 7-0 unanimous football club, and so on. Now, chair Ghana for any say, Sir Judge said, you may see when a Juman or Moyen, Yamran or Mosheso.
According to Daily Guide Network, interesting AB former Attorney General and Justice Minister Marietta Brew appear upon, according to Daily Guide Network. I have not independently confirmed yet. But I must say, she described the current Attorney General as childish, immature, and unprofessional. So it goes on. Professor Jacob said, "What do you to us?"
Nobody quiet you.
That mainly you my book.
So I am a
graduate assistant.
Papa.
Yes, sir. Asambakwa, yeah, taka.
Childish, immature, and unprofessional. Interesting.
Minyayanka, yajaika. But engineer so. MRP, you know, Betty Indian Binomo Casa, Modia some court to grandma Vanjan Swanko. I don't think that it is correct. Let me share proceedings in the power. You can see, and say, Sir court case. Former president, team, can say, you won't send me ya. You just right, and you per se, the pimpim, Mamino, electoral commission. Some of the say, the Bisano. The cross examination. And I caught me say, David, you know, Mudia Moon so much seven. Now, so banners will be now witness box no more. You then have the right to put those issues to her. After I'm resting, so made na box no more. Court to see David, but I'm crying money made na box no more.
And your court and a kind of more money made them. A mra or moka assembly petitioners can ye. Defense can assembly and defense can say omwe or masem na and some petitions can no ye dear she knew what chere say omo nyina so say abato na ye abane to ye no baby a koy no enye hwa na so ko and petitioner can say komu hia say isi panyi ba betra box. And I can say, and you by force some friend until maybe
the EC
and a court in
the witness box.
The EC was what?
Subject to cross examination.
Yes, that's true. We're saying the same thing.
But before that time, they do cross examination. The court had said,
should they get to that point?
If they get to that point, they can bring those issues in the cross examination.
Yes, and the EC's lawyer. We agree. We are on the same page.
Exactly.
And the EC lawyer now then say on final.
That's what I'm saying. You understand? It's Ebia, because I can't tell what should have happened or would not have happened. Ebia, Kiema Yenia Bali Bijina box no more. Kia TBB, That is possible. In any case, I say the law is in the bosom of the judges. And I'm a boy. Until law no bosom of the judges. No more, you're not judging. You're going to make a cover to call a president. So go president. You know, just to the president. Nambo, Obisu to me, I said, Sadia na judges new year in the party and come square. And come square cry. It because what is the problem with that? Any problem?
Okay. Kwesi.
Yes, sir.
Say. So what can say NDC for President Mahama court no more the evidence call.
Makasa.
Yeah, that's what you just said.
Also, no the evidence, but no more say no more passage in mensa a better box no more the pimpim no.
Me say
they wanted cross examination. They wanted to introduce certain elements of their case. Because it was never introduced. So but we don't know.
Me can say almost common for evidence anko. Oh, Shashi is saying no say no gentum. Almost the evidence call. It's not a problem. Until you and I we disagree.
There be main cancer now.
You and I we disagree.
No, you should have to understand main cancer. Me say so more evidence and so more evidence no. So cross examination no baswa and then give it to me a CNP.
But Kwesi judges can say they hadn't made any case to warrant bringing Jean Mensah into the box. You remember?
No. What the judges said was that she cannot be compelled to mount the box. That's all they said. They didn't say that they hadn't made any case for warranting.
Okay.
They said she cannot be compelled.
And that is looking at the law.
Maybe it was their legal strategy.
That is looking at the law. But when didn't say?
Now, if we say Chachu no, the yellow no.
And I'm the legal strategy. Maybe he was outfoxed, outboxed, or out-strategized, whichever way.
Say, I can say, Kwame.
Yes.
Only Kwesi. You disagree on some of these issues, obviously, from your exchange.
Yes, of course.
I assume that these are genuine disagreements coming from your convictions.
Of course, yes.
But some catch Kwesi said, "Sir, it is because you support John Mahama."
No.
Yes. You see, that is where it becomes an attack. So what I'm saying to you, Kwesi, then is that you are not disagreeing or giving your point of view on objective thinking, but on biased thinking because of your support for John Mahama. And you will be offended. That is all that we are saying.
Okay,
You'll be offended.
The time I'm the man one answer.
Your time.
Over the wood, your time. Over the wood, your time. Why your time? How the Miss Mark criticizing from?
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.